once again, thank you for being here with us. My name is Eddie Villanueva. I'm your official MC, I guess. I'm officially making a thing. And then I'm the member engagement specialist here at the United States Senate Federal Credit Union. And please don't forget to send all your questions, any concerns that you may have. What is our commitment, Milton? What is our commitment every single week regarding questions?
You already know it, sir. We will not leave the webinar until we answer every question that comes through. So, um, yes, that is the commitment every Wednesday night. Thank you, Eddie.
Of course, thank you. As Milton was saying, and just to emphasize that we're going to answer every single question. Once again, the topic is the path to home ownership. I know the times that we're living and how the economy is. It could be a little scary when you talk about home ownership. Should I buy a house? I shouldn't buy a home. But that's the reason why we have this topic and the experts answer all of your questions, because it's always the right time to buy a home. Once again, thank you very much for being here with us. And with that being said, it's 6:02, I'm sorry. Milton, I will give the microphone to you to start with the introductions.
Hey, Eddie, thank you so much, sir. Well, I guess by now, right, you don't need an introduction, Eddie. So I think everyone knows you by now. But just want to take this time and thank everyone for joining us on another excited weekly Wednesday webinar here at the United States Senate Federal Credit Union. We do have a very interesting topic today. The time calls for it. I mean, it's the first week of June. It is the summertime. This is the time when a lot of people are, I don't know, for some reason, it's like a little itch, right? That you want to start looking at houses. I don't know if there's and maybe this will be a question that I'll have for the experts later on, but if there's anything that shows why do most people like to go into the market and the housing market during the spring and summertime, because that's what I see the most. I know that the market tends to slow down a little bit in the fall and also in the winter, but during the spring and summertime, for some reason, I just feel like everyone wants to go and get into the market of buying a house. So thank you for coming in and making time out of your busy schedules. We do hope everyone find this very resourceful. And as Eddie alluded to, we do have an amazing panel for you all this evening. Let me start with our marketing team. Again, you already heard his name, his voice. I almost want to say he's the face of the credit union, but we have our very own Eddie Villanueva from the marketing department. Also for marketing, we have Andrea Londono. She will be keeping track of anything that comes through the chat or the Q&A. So again, if you do have any questions at any point, feel free to submit those questions using the chat or the Q&A feature. And as Eddie alluded to, it is our commitment that we answer every question before we let you go this evening. Also, keeping track of the chat and the Q&A today, we have my colleague and my partner in crime, Kim Fridley, from our membership development team. She is going to be assisting Andrea as well too. So again, do submit those questions for us. We love it when it's engaging. So please don't be shy. And also the person in charge of putting everything together, all these beautiful graphics that you're going to see during this presentation. She told us not to introduce her today. I don't know why, because we will always mention her. So Carrie Lazar from our marketing team, thank you, Carrie, for putting all these beautiful graphics for us, and as always making us look like professionals. Like, man, I'm telling you, it truly makes our job a lot easier when we're presenting. And with that being said, I think everyone knows me by now too. My name is Milton, and I'm the membership development officer here for the credit union. The main panel for this evening, man, I don't even want to start by telling you. And obviously, I don't want to age my experts today, but combined, there is over 60 years of lending experience. It truly is an amazing panel of experts for you all this evening. Without any particular order, but we do have two of our senior mortgage loan officers that are going to be presenting today. We have Jeremy Hill and our very own Kim Ta. So they're going to be leading the presentation. And to answer any questions for you towards the end of the presentation, we have the Director of Real Estate Lending, Kelly Facilio, along with our VP of Lending, Angela Collier. So with that being said, I believe Kim Tai is going to take over the presentation now. So Kim, it's all you now. Take it away.
All right, thank you, Milton, so much. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. Today's agenda we're going to go through is preparing to purchase a home, searching for a home, making an offer for a house. After your offer is accepted, what happens, closing day, keys to a successful home ownership. So in preparing to purchase, you would want to start looking into gathering all the informations together, such as your tax returns, at least two years, pay stub, two recent pay stub, or proof of income. So if you retire or if you have other income, you want to be able to gather all the proof of income together for us, so that we can, so that you can be prepared for getting, the loan together. You also need to gather 2 months worth of bank statements, 2 months worth of investment or any other asset statement that you want to use in purchasing your house. Letter of gift funds, if you're getting gift money from your parents, your siblings, or any immediate family members, you would want to be able to have that amount and the form ready and have the amount and the whoever give it to you to sign off on the form. And then if you have any kind of rental income or rental property, you will also want to get a copy of the lease, or if you had it for a while, it should show up on your tax returns on that. Next, we would want to do preparing to purchase. So in preparing, you want to do to determine your net income. You want to list and review all the expenses and how you track your expenses and whether or not you are comfortable getting a mortgage along with your expenses. The first thing I would do also, the other thing I would also do is prepare to list all your expenses out so that you can see what your expenses for the month. And then you also want to be comfortable of knowing your expenses and how much you can afford, whether you can comfortable affording the new mortgage payment. Next item is to prepare to look at your credit score, because most of the rates is based on your credit score. So the better the score, the better the rate. So if you just review your annual credit report, make sure that there's no mistakes on the credit bureau report. And if you do see something is out of ordinary, you would want to contact the credit bureaus and have them research on it or remove it, or have a discussions about your credit. Next would be start searching for a home. When you search for a home, before you even search for a home, you would want to, or before you search for a home, or before you even contact a realtor, you would definitely want to contact myself or Jeremy to do a pre-approval for your mortgage loan. Most of a realtor will not even show you a house if you don't have a pre-approval letter in your hand to show them. So just make sure that before you go search for a house or meet a realtor, you definitely want to meet with us first so that we can get your pre-qualification and pre-approval done. And then you can start looking for the house. Searching for home, some item you want to think about when you search for a house is the area you want to live in, the community, the commute in the community that you want to think about, how long it takes you to go to work and then what kind of school within the area. You also want to think about your property tax, because eventually you are paying that as part of your monthly mortgage. Whether or not the area have park close to shopping center, to public transportations, and parks and stuff, so that you would want. And the other item you want to think about is whether noises and traffic's going to impact where you want to live. And then searching for a home, you would need to, you have to determine how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, the square footage, the size of the house, outdoor space, kitchen feature, and other non-negotiable items that you like to have in your house. And let's see, and then the next item would be making an offer. And I'm going to have Jeremy take over and present the rest of the presentation to you.
All right, I appreciate that, Kim. So once you've gotten all that fun stuff out the way, you've seen Kim and I, you got your pre-approval ready, you're ready to make an offer. So once you actually find a home that meets your needs and hopefully some of your wants, you'll be ready to put that offer in. Some of the things to consider when you're putting an offer in is the actual purchase price that the seller will be willing to negotiate or accept. Your realtor is going to be a big help with this. So, be sure to work with a realtor during this process. Your offer can also include any contingencies, such as agreeing that you can get out of the deal without consequences if the appraisal comes in low or the inspection indicates any drastic repairs, all the way to agreeing that you have time to sell your current home before entering the new one. You may also want to request certain concessions from the seller in your offer, such as seller's assist that would cover some of your closing costs and reduce the amount of cash you would need to bring to closing. Your offer can also include when you would like to close on the home and when you want to move in the property. You can also provide the seller with a deadline to respond to your offer. That way they're just not sitting on it, entertaining other offers. You can actually tell them you need to hear an answer, in 24 hours, 48 hours, to let them know that you're serious. You're also going to express how much you're going to put down as an earnest money. This also indicates to a seller how serious you are. So the more you put down, the more serious you look on paper. All right. So once you and your realtor put together the offer and it's accepted, there may be some negotiation which you will work with your realtor on. Once your offer is accepted, there are some important steps to go ahead and close the deal. The first step is to narrow down which mortgage product you actually want to go with. The most common mortgage type is a conventional mortgage. These tend to have stricter lending requirements and are typically an option that makes most sense for someone with a higher credit score. An FHA mortgage is designed to make homeownership possible for people with slightly lower credit scores or lower income. These mortgages are backed by the Federal Housing Agency with lower down payment and credit score requirements. FHA loans can be a great option for many first-time home buyers. If you're a veteran or an active duty service member, a VA loan might be a great option for you. I believe that the National Guard and Reserve members may also be eligible. The cool thing about VA loans is they actually allow you to purchase a property with no money down, and they have very competitive interest rates as well. Oftentimes, you're going to get some help on the closing costs as well. Veterans or service members who are interested must obtain a certificate of eligibility through the VA. If you don't get it through the VA, we can actually help you obtain that as well. Another type of loan is called the USDA loan, which is specifically for properties that fall in defined rural areas. So at the end of the day, your mortgage is either going to be a fixed rate or an adjustable rate. A fixed rate mortgage means the interest rate will remain the same for the life of the loan, or an adjustable may change over time. Typically, an adjustable rate mortgage, they offer one rate for a defined period of time, such as 5, 7, or 10 years, after which the rate may change to match the market. So this means if you get into a variable rate, depending on where the market rate is, your rate can go up or down. Your payment can go up or down based on the current rate. So one thing that can be helpful to understand the difference between an interest rate and an APR. The interest rate is the percentage you're required to pay to borrow the money. The APR includes the interest rate, but also adds in other fees you'll pay the lender in order to represent the total number that you're borrowing. So when comparing lenders, so first you're going to look at us, and if you're shopping with another lender, the APR is the number that you want to look at to go ahead and see where you're getting the best deal at. Okay, so while it's possible to get a mortgage with less than 20% down, it will typically be required to pay an additional insurance that protects the lender because we are taking on more of a risk by lending you more of the home's value. If something were to happen and you were to default on the mortgage, the lender is at risk of a loss. This insurance is called the PMI for conventional loans or MIP for FHA loans. So essentially, if you're not putting 20% down, you're going to have that added cost into your mortgage payment. The mortgage insurance premium, known as MIP, is required for all FHA loans, regardless of how much money you put down. So that's the main difference between the FHA loan. You'll never get rid of that mortgage insurance because it's required. It doesn't go away. So typically, your monthly mortgage payment includes four main components, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. We just talked about one of the forms, but you'll also need homeowners insurance that will pay property taxes. While property taxes, I'm sorry, you'll also need homeowners insurance that will have to pay the property taxes. While the property taxes and homeowners insurance are typically paid once a year, you can pay towards the annual amount on a monthly basis as a part of your payment. So that's what's called an escrow account. So essentially, you'll pay everything within one payment. Once a year, your lender will review the escrow account to determine if a sufficient amount is collected to ensure the taxes and insurance can be paid on time. We will send you a notification letting you know if your mortgage payment will increase or decrease to maintain future payments. It is important to know this can happen as soon as the first year, so you can be prepared for this possibility. The next step is the home inspection. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm on this one. After your offer is accepted, our underwriters look at a variety of factors. The first of which is capacity. Do you have the ability to repay this loan if we extend it to you? Underwriters will review your income and employment history, how much money you have in savings, your current monthly debt payments, and any other financial obligations you have. We will review how much you requested fits into that to make sure to see if you can be pre-approved or not. The second thing we will look at is capital. Do you have cash or assets that you can turn to if needed to meet your obligation to repay the loan? This also shows a potential lender you have excess funds available on a monthly basis to save, invest, further proving you can afford the mortgage payment. The next thing the underwriter will consider is your credit history and credit score. As Kim alluded to earlier, pretty much your credit score is going to determine the rate that you get. So the better your credit score, the better the rate. And finally, we are interested in the collateral you are pledging with the loan, the home itself. We will want to ensure the home is worth enough to cover our losses if you were to fall behind on your mortgage and we need to foreclose on the property. This is typically determined through a home appraisal. Once you have submitted a full mortgage application, you will receive a loan estimate. We are required to provide this to you 3 business days after receiving your completed application. This loan estimate is not a guarantee that your loan application is approved or denied, but is designed to give you all the details you need to know to decide if seeking the loan or not. So some of the things that the loan estimate would include is the rate, the estimated monthly payment, and the estimated closing costs you can expect to pay. All right, so now we're actually moving on to the home inspection. Home inspections are not typically required, but are highly recommended. A home inspection is for your protection as the buyer. It is to help you enter the purchase with a clear idea of flaws or any warning signs in the home. You as a buyer will choose and expect a home inspector, so be sure to shop around for one you can trust. FHA loans may require a specific inspection to ensure the property meets certain standards. It is still recommended for you to hire your own inspector to take a look at the property as well. When you made an offer, you may have included contingencies that I talked about earlier related to your home inspection findings. So if something major comes up and you had that contingency, and whenever you made the original offer, that's going to cover you so you can back out the deal. A home appraisal is different from the home inspection. An inspection is designed to give the buyer a clear picture of the condition of the home, where the appraisal is designed to let us know how much your property is actually worth. So that's something that we'll do on our end. We'll hire the appraisal and you'll hire the home inspector. The appraisal will confirm again how much money we can extend to you based on the value of the property. If the appraisal comes in lower than the amount you're asking to borrow, you will either need to come up with more money to bridge the gap, or that's when you go back to the seller to negotiate the price. Closing day. Once you have gotten through all the paperwork, all the phone calls, all the various inspections, the appraisals, and gathered all the money you need, it's time for the most exciting part, closing day. So leading up to closing day, there are a few things you want to do to prepare. So you'll receive some documents ahead of time to review that can help speed up the process. You'll want to review these documents closely and reach out to your realtor or lender immediately if something seems incorrect. Legally, we'll send these documents out to you 3 days prior to closing, so you'll have plenty of time to review. You'll also want to confirm with your realtor the exact location of where your closing is. You can request a final walkthrough of the home just to make sure any requested repairs has been completed, or make sure the home is just in overall good condition. Make sure the home looks like what you agreed to buy, pretty much. So prior to closing date and receiving your keys, you'll need to reach out to the utility companies as well. So whenever you get the keys, you'll have some lights to go ahead and do what you need to do in your new home. You will also want to connect with your realtor and lender about what you need to bring to the closing table. So pretty much what that means is you need to know exactly how much money you're bringing and what kind of identification you would need as well. Typically, you just need like your ID. Next slide. Okay. After you've signed more paperwork than you can imagine, handing over a large sum of money and got your keys, congratulations, you're officially a homeowner. The journey doesn't stop with walking in the front door for the first time, though. So before we wrap up today, I want to share a couple key successful homeownerships beyond the closing day. So the first tip that I have for you is you spend a lot of money, so you definitely want to rebuild that savings up. If most of your savings went to the down payment, closing costs, and moving expenses, it could be tempting just to go ahead and jump into renovation projects and any home improvements. But I probably would pause on that first and just go ahead and build your savings back up. It's also recommended to map out an annual home maintenance plan. This is something you can research online for recommendations of what to include, when to do it, and how often to do it. Figure out a method to stay organized and keep track of maintenance completed as well. I know for myself, I just had to pay like $1,800 for a hot water heater. So that's just an example of something that can come up. So you definitely want to plan for that. As we discussed earlier, your mortgage payment may increase as your homeowner's insurance and taxes change. As we revisit your budget from time to time, keep this in mind to be prepared for potential increases in your payment. As you plan what repairs and home improvements you want to make to your new home, prioritize any major concerns that the home inspector found. These may not always be the most fun or cosmetically pleasing improvements, but they can be the most important to take care of. And the final key that I'll leave you with is to always prioritize your mortgage. A foreclosure can begin 3 months after falling past due on your mortgage, so making this payment your top financial priority every month is strongly recommended. If you're ever concerned about making your mortgage payments, please reach out to us as soon as possible to discuss options. There may be both some short and long-term options available, and the sooner that you reach out to us to explore those options, the better. So you can reach us. You can schedule an appointment via the website. I'm sorry, via the email mortgage@ussfcu.org. There's our phone number there, and all the in our main branch location as well. So that concludes the presentation. You'll see Kim and I, our beautiful pictures there. I think we're going to open it up for Q&A, right, Eddie and Milton?
That is correct, Jeremy. Thank you so much for going over that presentation.
Hey, sorry, it's Carrie from behind the scenes. We forgot one slide here.
Oh, there's one more slide. So these are pretty much just the loan options that I spoke about earlier. So
Sure.
typically, you know, like most people go with the fixed rate, especially nowadays with the economy the way it is. The 30-year fixed rate is probably the most commonly used loan option, but you definitely just want to reach out to Kim or I. We can go into details about your specific situation.
Thank you, Jeremy. And I do believe we have multiple questions in the Q&A and on the chat. So Andrea and Kim, if you all want to take it away, then we'll have our panel answer the questions that we have that have been submitted.
Yeah, sure. So the first question is, I pay rent right now and my rent is higher than several of my friends' mortgages. Will the mortgage lender consider that when deciding whether I receive pre-approval?
Hi, this is Kim. I'm not sure what exactly the question is. Is it, do you want to know if we consider your rent in terms of pre-qualifying you for the mortgage loan? Are we going to consider that or not? Most likely, if we're going to qualify you for a loan, we're going to consider the new mortgage amount versus your rent amount. Because eventually that rent's going to go away because you going into a new home. So we're more concerned about the potential new or proposed mortgage payment than your current rent payment. Does that answer your question?
She said kind of.
So I'm guessing in this case, this person's rent payment it's way higher than what the friends are paying in terms of for their mortgages. So and I mean, I can tell you from experience, living here in the DC area. I mean, you can rent an apartment in downtown or anywhere closer to DC, and that rent is going to be $3,000-$4,000. So you can most definitely qualify and get yourself a mortgage and probably pay less than that amount. But obviously, as Jeremy and Kim alluded to in the presentation, once we start your application process, we'll be able to determine, what you qualify for. There's a lot of factors that come into consideration when it comes to that. And obviously, if you're being able to pay high rent payments, and we can find you the right loan for you, I'm sure that you will be able to compare that, and that will give you an idea as to where you will stand in terms of your what I would like to call your purchase power, in essence, how much you will be able to qualify in terms of your monthly payments that a loan will look like for you.
All right. These are great questions, everyone. Let's go to the next question. How much money do you really need for a down payment? I was told I should save $35,000. Why so much?
Hey, I'll take this one. So the lowest amount that you can put down for a down payment will be 3.5%, and that's for the FHA loan. If you wanted to do a conventional loan, you can do as low as 5%. So it really just depends on the purchase price.
Jeremy, can you give us an example of what it would be like? Let's say somebody wants to looking to buy a property of a $300,000. What will a 5% conventional loan down payment look like, and then what will an FHA 3.5% down payment look like for that?
Right. So 300,000 would be $15,000 down payment. That would be 5%. I have to pull out my calculator to do the math for the FHA loan. So bear with me real quick. That would be about 10,500 you would need for the down payment.
Thank you, Jeremy. So in essence, keep in mind the amount of down payment that you will be doing. It truly depends on the type of loan that you choose, and obviously whichever one fits your budget, whichever one you feel more comfortable. And that answer, it almost sounds to me, and Jeremy and Kim, feel free to jump in. But I think that is almost something like they want you to do like a 20% down payment, which has been like the typical asking down payment in the past. And that's the reason why, that amount might seem higher for you. But again, give us a call. I mean, you have our contact information here. Jeremy and Ken will be able to walk you through and give you examples as to, what kind of down payment you might be looking at, depending on the type of loan that you're interested. But obviously, with us, with a 5%, you can get yourself into a conventional loan, or a 3.5% with a very popular FHA loan. So absolutely, reach out to us. And again, you're gonna get tired of me saying this, but I praise this. I always praise Jeremy and Ken, because they're so knowledgeable and they can definitely walk you through and play with those numbers with you. And then that, it's realistic numbers, right? I think Kim hit it right off the bat at the beginning, when she stated that if you wanna get into the market, you wanna make sure that you do have a pre-approval. Going in to see houses with your realtor, it truly makes a difference once you have a reputable pre-approval offer from someone like us. And it truly it's important. But before that, just remember that you have to have that conversation with either Kim or Jeremy, and that will be take you step by step. And then one thing, and this is, I'm just speaking from experience. It is an eventful experience you're gonna go through. It's probably going to be your biggest purchase that you will have in your lifetime. And with that, we want to make sure that you are prepared. You have all the right tools. And as I stated at the beginning, I mean, our team here has so many years of lending experience that they will not steer you wrong. So do give us a call. We would love to talk to you, and assist you with the whole buying experience. So I'm sorry, I jumped in on that one too, Jeremy.
No, you're good.
Milton? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I intervene and answer the other question about the $35,000? The reason somebody told you that is because I'm pretty sure they wanted you to know that you need to down payment as well as anticipate the closing costs. So based on Milton's example of $300,000, and Jeremy said if you put down 5%, you need $15,000, but you also need cash for closing costs, and the closing costs on a 300,000 is probably another 9 to 10,000. So 25 to 30,000 is what you need to have in cash for closing on a $300,000 home. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Kim. And also, it's very important to know as well too, right? When you're going through this process, that you want to make sure that you have the right team working for you. And as Kim alluded to, that down payment is required, either the 3.5% or the 5%, and also the closing cost, which is another 3%. But and Kelly, I'm sorry if I push you on the spot, but I do want everyone to know that when you get into this journey, you want to make sure that you get yourself the right tools. And then one of those main tools that you're going to need and navigate the whole process is that you want to make sure you have the right realtor, somebody that can actually look for your best interest. And maybe, I'm not saying this, but I know we had him in a webinar not long ago. If you partner with the right realtor, you might be able to get some of that closing costs assistant probably negotiated from the seller. So definitely, I will highly encourage that you do your research. You partner up with a strong realtor, somebody that it's an expert, somebody that knows the market pretty well. And Kelly, do you want to share some of that partnership that we have created here with an experienced a realtor in the area? And I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
That's right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, we have a expert that has attended some of our webinars and events, and he'll be at our next event in July. We have some of his information. His name is Phil Suffarelli. He's a principal broker. He owns his own firm, and he's in he does all 3 jurisdictions: Virginia, DC, and Maryland, also Florida. But we don't have an official affiliation with him. He is one of our subject experts. So you know, if you're not working with someone, you may want to consider coming to our shred event if you can in July, and he'll be there, and he could probably answer some of your questions about that if you're not currently working with someone.
Thank you, Kelly.
All right, question team. What's the next question?
Next question is, I don't live close to a branch office. Can an app and a loan be done over the internet?
Yes, we do have application link online for you to complete the online application.
Thank you, Kim. Again, these are great questions. Does the credit union offer any type of savings account for people to save for a home?
I would not be able to answer that because I'm not sure what whether or not we have the type, but I'm sure that we can set up a savings account, a separate saving account for you to put the money in and save for your future home.
Yes, I was actually willing to answer this question. So we can open an additional share within your account, and you can actually go into our online banking with your credentials and name it whatever you would like. So you could name that share mortgage savings and then continue to put money in there as you wished to save for your mortgage.
Oh, and
That
Kim,
helps.
tell them about share certificates and how they could be a good goal if you're planning.
Yeah, the
to
share
purchase.
certificates actually earn a higher rate of return. So you could, it's a minimum balance of $1,000. You could open CDs and earn interest on the savings that you have. And, you know, continue to add to that balance. We have money markets. We have all types of savings that could help you to save for your new home.
So what Kim is trying to tell you with this is that you have options. And I think somebody mentioned in the comments is that contact us, you know, let us know what your needs are. Let us know what your goal is. And then that's what we're here for you, to help you reach those financial goals and dreams. And then best believe this, that no matter what you're trying to reach, the United States and the Federal Credit Union has a solution for you. So we have the options, we have the services for you. Please take advantage of them because we want to make sure that you are successfully achieving your dreams. Andrea, what's the next question?
Next question is, would a closing still happen if the inspection revealed some hidden defect or encumbrances on the house?
I can answer that. It depends, and it could be an issue, especially if it's something that is noted on the appraisal. If it's something that's noted on the appraisal, it definitely would have to be addressed. Encumbrances, I'm not sure, you know, if you're talking about title encumbrances or something that has to do with the survey, that could, if that shows up when the title work is pulled and the survey is done, then yes, that would have to be addressed too. Yes, I see where it says yes, title encumbrances. Yes, those would have to be cleared. You're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to close until it's addressed. So, for stuff like that, you'd need to talk to, we might be involved in it again if it's on the appraisal, if it's something that even though it's on the home inspection, if it's something that an appraiser isn't a home inspector, but if it's brought to his attention, he would have to note it on the appraisal, and then it would be an issue. So, if it has to do with the actual inspection, if there's something, if it's, you're saying hidden defect, that means if it's a hidden defect, well, you need to talk to your realtor about that and have a serious conversation before you move forward. That would be my advice. The other thing too that you need to be concerned about is if there is, you're saying hidden defect. That's a red flag. Just the terminology. If there was something that you found, if it was a hidden defect that was brought to your attention, and for whatever reason the settlement did go through, if you don't correct it, and you try to sell your house, then that's something that you would have to disclose. So, whenever something like that happens, you have to really, talk to your realtor and, get good advice.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Like we said earlier, our expert panelist team, they've been doing this for a really, really long time. So you are getting the best answers, the true answers tonight. The next question, I'm about to get a raise. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. And several thousands of student loans forgiven. Is it better to get approval then? So I'm assuming after they can prove that they have that raise and after their student loans are forgiven. Should they wait until then to get pre-approved?
I would say yes to that. Do you know what's the time horizons on that you have to wait is the other question I would have.
Thank you, Kim.
Next question. Many first-time home buying programs for home buying programs for down payment assistance. Does USFCU work with those programs?
Unfortunately, not at this time. We don't participate in any of the first-time home buyer program to grant or for down payment or assist in any other ways.
Thank you. Next question. I live in New Jersey. Does it make sense for me to get pre-approval with the United States Senate Federal Credit Union and work with a New Jersey-based realtor? I hope y'all don't mind if I answer this, but the answer is yes, yes, yes. We are your credit union. Most of our members do not live in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area. So absolutely, we want you to use your credit union for all of your financial needs. So absolutely. I hope that's okay that I answered that.
Yes.
That's the correct answer, Kim.
Thank you.
I just did a loan in Alaska.
Oh, how exciting.
Are homes expensive out there, Kim, or about the same?
Oh, it's pretty expensive. Well, the one that I had, the member bought a really nice house. Very nice house.
Thank you guys so much. Next question.
Amen.
Next question is, so a loan can be done without ever coming into a branch since I live in another state.
Absolutely. Everything we do is online.
So I do have a question for you all, because we're talking about inspections and, things that you need to do before getting a home and the pre-approval letter. But I've seen some advertisement per se that, some people announce their homes like buy as is, and they don't allow you to do an inspection. Is that something that, do you really need an inspection or not? Or what would you recommend? Because I know some people that are like, buy as is, you take it how it is. I know you're taking a big risk on that, but is that legal? Is that not legal? Can somebody, Jeremy, Kim, or Kelly, answer that question?
It's excuse me. It depends on your state. In this area, you don't, and I know at least in Virginia, and I believe DC and Maryland, I'm not absolutely sure. An inspection, a regular home inspection, isn't usually required. I think maybe with some FHA government programs, they are required. I'm not sure. I personally wouldn't buy a home without a home inspection. That being said, I know that it's a competitive market right now, and people are waiving that. A lot of times you will see that where you can do a home inspection with the option to void, and basically what that is you're going to go, you're saying you're going to do a home inspection, and if there's serious stuff on the home inspection, you can void the contract. Again, that's something that you want to talk to your realtor about. There are other types of inspections. I know I'm not an expert in every state, but I know in some states, like radon inspections are mandatory. So, it's something that you have to talk to your realtor about when you're, considering putting in an offer.
All right. Thank you very much, Kim. And I think
If I can add to that, Eddie, if you don't
Go ahead.
mind, also going to what Kelly was saying, it truly depends on the type of financing. That's going to be one thing that, and this is coming from firsthand experience. I went in the market as well too. I know this is when the market was very competitive in 2020, 2021, 2020, end of 2020 and beginning into 2021, where people were offering crazy amounts over the asking prices and put it in the contracts that they didn't want to, waive the inspections and everything. But just know that when you're working with your realtor and your loan officer, that's something that you gotta disclose. And know that the type of loan that you are working with. Oftentimes, for FHA loans, they're very strict actually. They will require inspections, otherwise they will not approve the loan. Now, if you want to go in a conventional side, that might be a different story. But like also, as Kelly alluded to, it depends on the state that you live as well. So every state has different regulations, but also the type of lending that you do will have an impact on that as well too. And that is my German Shepherd saying hello to everyone, like always. He likes us to come in and say hi from time to time.
he gets excited about our topics, and as he sees his father being a presenter, I know he wants to be a presenter as well. So shout outs to Nico. We appreciate him for being here. And then as Kelly and Milton and everybody, even Kim was sharing her own experience in the chat. Do your due diligence, talk to those experts. That's what they're there for. That's the reason why they're licensed. That's the reason why they have this experience, is for you to answer all these questions. And just because I say Milton did it a certain way and then Kelly did it another way, it doesn't mean that you gotta go that route or the other. Everybody has a unique experience. So ask those questions. And that's the reason why we have these experts, like I say, working for you to make sure that you get the best benefits that you can. I do see a couple more other questions. Andrea, sorry, please take it away.
Yeah, so the next question is to clarify my earlier question. If I am going through the first time home buying program for a down payment assistant from them, the program, are you saying I cannot get a mortgage? Hold on, it moved. Mortgage loan through USFCU.
That is correct. because we're not a preferred lender. In most of those programs, they do have the preferred lender that you have to use. But we definitely could find a program for you if you ever interested in doing that. You know, before you sign up with the other lender, definitely talk to us first. Maybe we could come up with some solution for you so that you can continue and stay with us. We'd love to have you hanging out with us.
Thank you so much, Kim. So last question that I see here is, does a mortgage type change based on home type? For example, if I look for a condo instead of a standalone house.
No, the loan type doesn't change. You can look for a condo or a single family or a townhouse. If you qualify for FHA, we go with FHA. If you qualify for conventional type loan, we will go with the conventional type loan.
One caveat with condos is that not all condos qualify for every financing. And usually when that's the case, it has to do with the financials of the condo association. So that's something that if you're considering a condo, you want to make sure your realtor does some research, and the lender, to see if it's approved. I mean, sometimes you don't realize it until you're in a contract, and then it can't be done. So just word of caution on that.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. And again, thank you all so much for sticking with us all the way to the end of this presentation. I think this has been a very, very informative, lots of great questions. And obviously we want to thank our experts, Jeremy, Kim, Kelly, and Angela for coming in and taking time. We all know you're busy, as I stated, and forgive me because I actually forgot to mention this, but that the June is actually it's National Homeownership Month. So we are celebrating the whole month of June. So please, if you have any questions, if you want something more in details, please reach out to us. And it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, I know we have members in all of the 50 states. So I know I saw a question from somebody in Jersey that they're thinking about buying a house. I know our good friend, and he's almost another expert here with us, Mr. Lucas. He's in the West Coast. As Kim alluded to, you don't have to be in the DC area. You don't need to go inside a branch. We have everything, ready to go, and we want to be there every step of the way and assist you during your home buying experience. So please, we do have a great team here with a lot of experience. They're going to steer you in the right direction. And one thing for sure that I will tell you that, and this is just me speaking from my own experience, it's that when you're going through this process, do compare the pricing and see how much the other company is charging you, because you might get a down payment assistance, but all of that money, it probably might be going into some fees that you were not aware, or perhaps the pricing that they're giving you over there is going to be a lot more expensive than what it would be if you were to come with us. So that's one of the things that you will get from us here. We will give you the lowest pricing fee with so many fees that come in when you're talking about a mortgage. So please do make sure you do your homework, and that's why we always say that you want to make sure that you have the right partners with you, and make sure that you have the people that are looking for your best interest. And just because somebody is offering you a $5,000 down payment or I'm just giving you a random amount, that might not be really for your best interest, because if you're going to pay a lot more, perhaps on the interest rate or maybe on some of those fees that you're paying up front, is that $5,000 that they're giving you as a down payment assistance, is it really worth it? Is it going to help you instead of hurt you down the road? So those are the things that you have to look into, and that's why I really take my hat off to our team here at the United States NFL Credit Union, because they will go through every detail and explain the process for you and really show you, why we are who we are and why we always look for the best interest in all of our members here at the credit union. So With that being said, again, I want to thank the experts for making time and being with us. Also, our wonderful marketing team and my right hand, Kim Freely, for being here, very active. And I also will hate if I'm sure Kim will not like me tomorrow morning if I don't remind everyone for our next topic for next week, which is preventing elder financial abuse. That's going to be the presentation for next week. So again, please spread the word. If you missed some of the presentation, just know that our marketing team will be having this presentation live on our website and also on YouTube. Our promise is that it's going to be there by early next week, right, Carrie? And so, but with that being said, unless we have any
Milton.
questions,
Sorry,
yes.
we had one last question, and it's a great
Okay.
question. So where can members find our mortgage rates? Can they find those online?
Yes, Carrie shared the link, I believe, with everybody. Carrie's always great. She's the link content queen. We're adding a little title to her now, But yes, you can find them online. If you have any questions about them, please give us a call. And then Kim Friedley, what option do they need to call if they need to contact you directly?
Option 7.
That's right.
Option 7. Say my name, say my name.
What about contacting the mortgage department directly? Is there an extension for that? Or should they use the directory and say Kim Ta? Kelly, there's a phone extension
You can
number.
call the 800 number. Yeah, I think there's an extension for it. Or you can just email the mortgage box. It's probably the best way to get us.
Also, I
You
also
can
wanted to
just do it directly to us too.
What was that, Kelly?
I just wanted to also mention about the rates. You really, you can go on the website, but you really need to talk to one of the loan officers to, the rates change daily. And so, they may change by the time you're looking at something online and when you talk to the loan officer. So yeah, use it as a guide, but certainly, if you're really serious and you're in the market, please talk to one of the loan officers. Did Kim or Jeremy, do you want to add anything to that?
You definitely call one of us if you really need an answer right away. There's many ways to reach out to us as well.
Yes, please reach out to us. We're happy to help.
And then, Kim and Jeremy, they keep talking about a $300 home as an example. So if you can find me a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom, $300,000 home, please let me know, because I will right away apply with you all. But with this being said, we just want to say thank you very much to the mortgage team, the lending department being here, Angie, Kelly, Kim, Jeremy. We appreciate each one of you. And then, like Milton was saying, we're gonna have a great topic next Wednesday. Andrea, Milton, and myself, we're going to be at a congressional baseball game at Nationals Park. So if you're in the DMV area and you want to get some tickets for that game, please reach out to the marketing department and we'll be glad to give you some tickets. But don't be scared. Carrie and Kim Freely will be the ones holding it down for us. So it's going to be a great night of learning. It's going to be a great night of baseball as well, live. So with that being said, we want to say thank you very much, everybody that attended this evening. Thank you for the great questions, and thank you very much for the great answers. With that being said, this has been another Weekly Wednesday webinar. My name is Eddie Villanueva, and we are so glad that you were here.